I had a freak heart attack. It was caused by eating a bad chicken sandwich from Costco. I got salmonella, and the salmonella impacted my heart. My heart got so swollen it stopped being able to effectively pump blood. And so it wasn't through a blockage or high cholesterol or whatever other heart attacks are caused by. And that really just caused me to take a step back and think about, what do I want to do with my life? At the time, I was working in Central Time. I was working a lot with Europe early in the mornings, and I was working with China late at night. So I was having meetings, 20 hours a day, working all hours of the night. And I really enjoyed um, my job and the value that I got out of helping these companies be successful, but decided to really prioritize the life and work life balance. Life is very short, and um, through a little bit of naivete, I thought that starting my own business would be a little bit less stressful.
No, it's important. And I don't think people, business owners who are entrepreneurs, they're really good at the business and what they're trying to do. The other
Yeah,
personnel stuff is not something they're good at, and they need to get help as soon as possible.
yeah, exactly.
Speaking of chaos and people all over, during the pandemic, everybody went home, and then a lot of companies have brought them back. Have you seen that yourself? A lot more companies have brought people back.
Yeah, I have, and it's a trend I don't necessarily think is best for companies in all circumstances, but I have noticed a lot of companies, the vast majority of companies, are doing this push for employees to come back into the office. And in a lot of with a lot of companies I'm talking to or clients I'm talking to, they say, I want you to lead the charge of having, help us figure out how to bring employees back to the office. And um, there's such an advantage to be able to access remote talent, right? The best talent might not always be in your city, might not be always be willing to make that commute 5 days a week. But managing a remote team is harder than managing a team in person, right? It's easier to kind of be checked out as a manager and just pop your head over a cubicle and say, what are you working on today? How's it going? And like, okay, well, I saw on their screen they were playing, they were playing games or watching YouTube videos, so I know they're not working.
Or updating
And
their
if I don't,
resume.
updating the resume exactly. But if you manage people intentionally and set up the right processes to make sure your team knows what they're responsible for, knows what they're accountable for, when you're going to have check-ins, what's the impact these deliverables are going to have on the company, you can lead a very, very successful team remotely.
Did you always want to write a book?
Surprisingly, no. I never really thought about writing a book until I started putting together the business model for the consulting company. So, I wanted to think through when I was starting the company, take this really seriously. Um, think about a value proposition. What value are we adding to companies? How are we going to do it? What's the business model? What's the formula for success that we can apply to any company, no matter what industry they're in or how big they are? And wanted to formalize that. And as I was coming up with this business model, I just had kind of this aha moment where I said, I think I have something unique here. I think I have something that hasn't really been done before in this formula. Obviously, there's thousands of leadership books out there, and more coming out every day. But this is really about how to apply traditional leadership competencies in this modern age of technology and AI.